Back on over to PeteDorr with Mawaza. Take it away.
All right, so we are back this time with a Japanese exclusive PlayStation 2 puzzle game, but it's not going to be the kind of puzzle game that you're expecting. We've just got done playing a game called Irritating Stick, and this is a game about connecting balls and making shapes and smashing shapes into other shapes to make your way to the end of the level. So it's a pretty simple premise. It's going to feel overwhelming, okay? This game, I'm going to go through the first few levels very fast, and it's going to feel overwhelming, but give me 5 minutes, and you'll have the gist of this game down in no time. It's going to be very simple for you to understand. So we had a bid war incentive. And I just got done playing a US PlayStation game, and I hit X to confirm, but yeah, I got to press circle on Japanese PS2. We had a bid war incentive for character choice in this between the boy character, the girl character, or the giant panda. So we'll see if you guys are regretting your decision here in a second. So this would have been the boy. This is Axel. You can see why I called him the boy, the girl, the giant panda, because none of you are going to know these names. This is the girl that we're going to be selecting and playing as. And you may have some regrets, but this is DD, King of Panda, that you guys missed out on.
That's really strong.
But the weebs at GDQx this year are strong. Their voices are heard. I'm sure they're spamming all sorts of stuff in chat right now. So what do you say we get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is a 3D puzzle game where you have full control over character movement. And the basic idea is I'm going to be smashing objects into one another. And every time I smash an object into another, it'll put floor tiles on the ground. So for example, I grab this, I toss it, and it smashes into other shapes, placing the floor tiles that I need to get to the end of the level. Now, here's the next mechanic. You connect the balls together to create shapes just like that. So as long as you connect 3 balls together, you'll create a shape, and then you use that shape to smash into others. Now, if you do what I did just there, and you smash a ball into the corner of another ball, it'll actually start swinging on its axis. So the next basic premise is you want to combo and chain these shapes together. So you'll notice that the shape that I originate with will start changing colors. This means that it's leveling up and evolving, essentially. Every time that it gets an additional chain, it'll place more floor tiles on the ground. So for example, notice the color on this is now red. So a 1 chain will place 1 floor tile, a 2 chain will place 2 floor tiles, 3 chain, 3 tiles, and so forth and so on. So if you're watching on the ground there, it'll all start making sense. So the general idea is that I want to be keeping my original shape that I create going as long as possible. Now this is a little trick. Auto-complete the level, it's only used twice in the run. If you surround a shape with another shape like that, it'll automatically clear the level for you. Now, Authorblues on the couch here has never seen this game before. What are your first impressions off in terms of like what you're expecting?
Really, really fascinating, and it's happening extremely fast.
That's why when I made my submission for this game, I made sure to like pretty much baby talk through the mechanics of this game over and over because it's very overwhelming. But the basic core concept of this is quite simple.
Yeah.
Things do get a little bit more complex as we go on, though, as they introduce new ball mechanics. So if I'm creating a shape and that shape that was spinning there passes through it for more than like a second, it'll stop me from creating a shape like what just happened right there. Also, I hope you guys enjoy the music because this game has quite the soundtrack. So I made sure to make a big enough shape there so that it would connect onto the other side of the level. So I gotta do a little bit of finagling here. Another thing you're gonna notice is a color is like sort of emanating from the center of the shape that I'm using. If I let it linger for too long, it'll actually disappear, which is quite bad. That may happen once or twice in the run. No need to panic if it does, just a little time loss. So the game is also broken up into stages. Each stage has areas If I fail an area, like the very last area of a stage, it'll send me back to the first area. So it's pretty important that I don't lose on some of the later areas.
Do the different characters have any different abilities?
Yeah, so the panda is actually the slowest character in the game, but he's the panda, so I like using him because panda. The girl is actually one of the faster ones. The boy is also quite fast. There are other stats that affect sort of how I create shapes and how long of a time. You'll sort of see like a little life bar beneath me as I'm connecting shapes together. It doesn't really have too much bearing on the run, so it's pretty much like if you're going for a fast time in this, you're probably going to want to use the boy or the girl. The other stats don't have too much of a bearing because generally they're not going to matter too much with the strats I'm using. So another interesting fact about this game is it's actually created by the developers of Wild Arms series. So any fans of Wild Arms, you might want to check this out if you're curious for Mediavision's more obscure stuff. Okay, so this level's kind of a pain. I don't have a good setup here. There's a lot of black balls. So black balls I can't actually rotate. So I want to try and make a shape with at least 2 blue balls typically, but the placement here, unfortunately, was not really good in the beginning. Certain levels do have randomness in terms of which balls decide to spawn. And this one is one of the biggest run killers for PB attempts because if I don't get good ball spawns, it can be pretty slow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that those were coming in at random.
Certain levels, they are set. But for whatever reason, there are levels where they are completely random. And this is, I had to do that, otherwise I was going to lose that shape. This is one of the slowest levels in the run, potentially. I took this shape instead because, as you can see, I have 2 blue balls, which means there's an extra place where I'm able to rotate, as opposed to just 1, which can be quite a problem. And now you see what happens in this stage is the balls creep out super slow. But we got it just in time. That was about to disappear.
Was that roughly on par with what you usually expect, or was that a little worse?
That was definitely a little slower.
Okay.
I didn't get to create a good shape in the beginning there. The shape that I was using the combo with was only 1 blue ball, which is pretty bad. So here, on purpose, you can see me go out of the way to grab another blue one here, just so I have an extra shape to rotate with. And you can see the color sort of emanating from the center of this large originating shape. That's what's determining if it's going to disappear or not. This is one of the longer levels. It has the most floor tiles that I need to fill in outside of the last stage in the game. And one of the benefits to using the boy or the girl is that because of their movement speed, I'm more quickly able to sort of run around here and set up shapes while that's rotating. So for example, see what I just did there? I make a shape on the fly as this is rotating, and that's by far the fastest way to get through stages, if you can pull that off. Oh, we only need to destroy 1 more. So in that case, I can just use whatever shape. Levels like this always go the same way, nothing random about it. Always make this shape, always crash it into that one. Always move it over here and crash through these 2. Things are about to get a lot more complex in the next stage, however. Now, pretty soon the game is going to start a mechanic where the back floor tiles are going to start disappearing. And that's the reason why my estimate is what it is, because... Hold on, I need to focus on this level a little bit because there's a lot of black balls here. And if this blue ball decides to rotate out of the play field, it can be pretty bad. But just keep making combos like this. As you can see, it's rotating, I'm making shapes. Once again, connecting the balls. Okay, let me rephrase that. I am connecting the points to create the shapes continually and keep smashing shapes to put in floor tiles. Kind of reiterating in case people are jumping in, because I know this game is a little overwhelming to watch if you're just jumping in. All right, we've got the introduction of red balls now. This is where things start to get a little scarier. So red balls function just like blue balls. However, if a shape that I have created touches a red ball, if it hasn't been connected yet, this will make a little bit more sense in one of the coming up levels. It will destroy the shapes. So for example, this red ball, I need to connect it so that it won't destroy the shape that I just swung. And that can get very scary in later levels. One more. This would be a good time to fit in some donations as well if you've got some.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got $20 from Matt540. Just says, much love. We've also got another $10 from Tizani. It says, keep up the great work and show me some Tetris Battle Royale. We definitely need to meet that goal, guys. You do not want to miss that. Got time for a couple more?
Yeah, one or two more. Fine.
And we got $15 from Horn Function. Says, can't wait to watch my favorite streamers run live, but sending good vibes to Orchestra. Woomy.
Super satisfying when you do some big combo like this. Continuous combos, so satisfying. This game is really addicting, by the way. So if you're a fan of puzzle games in general, and you can play Japanese PS2 games, give this one a look. It's really cheap. It's actually not rare, not expensive. Okay, so this level here, I set up a few extra shapes on the right, and then this should give me enough to finish the level. As you can see, it just keeps comboing right into all the shapes I've been making. And there we go.
Really nice.
All right, so this is Area 7. This is the reason why my estimate is what it is, because as you can see in the bottom right corner, there's levels. Every level is one of the areas. So if I fail towards one of the later areas in this game, I have to start back at this level. So this can potentially lose me quite a bit of time if I fail anywhere in level 7. Already a little minor mistake here. I could have completed this a lot faster. There's a specific sequence I usually want to take through this, but I missed the opportunity. Also, this level has the best song in the game. Well, outside of maybe the next level.
So you're saying the back half of the platform's actually falling out behind you?
Yeah, they are now starting to fall. You're not really going to know, well, in this level, no. But coming up later on, I will let you know when that happens. I'm going to have to focus because if I am distracted and just not paying attention, I can just completely fall off the back of the level and have to start all over from the beginning of this entire section, grouping of levels. And I'm going to be very disappointed if I look back on the Twitch VOD of this and don't see chat spamming Sour Please to the music, especially in this section of the game. That was also one of the slowest levels in the entire game right there. There's nothing you can do to really speed that up. It's just pretty basic stuff. Okay, this one is a serious focus level. I can fall off the back quite easily here. So the back is falling very quickly. I'll actually give you a glimpse of it there. See how they were falling off on the back end. That's one of the scariest levels in the game, believe it or not. I know I made it look really simple, but things can go really wrong there. Because if you don't get good shape placement or good random ball spawns, that is one of the levels where ball spawns are random. It can end the run on a PB attempt. So this level, I'm taking my time on purpose here because of the red balls specifically. Some levels you actually want to be a little patient on, and this is one of them. Because if I started just swinging, oh, okay, we almost fell off right there. If you start swinging shapes like all crazy, you're gonna hit one of the red balls, and that's gonna end the level prematurely. Okay, so I want to be ready to at least connect that. It doesn't have to be made into a shape, but as long as I've connected it in some way, I'll be safe from losing my shape.
Well done.
Yeah, it's one of the scarier levels. Okay, this one is also... I'm gonna make sure I do this right. Very specific sequence of things I need to do here to make sure that I preserve this shape into the right side here. This used to be the scariest level in the run for me, but I've kind of figured out the correct sequencing I need to do here to make it as safe as possible. Because if I connect with these electric pillars that you see there, it'll destroy the shape that I'm spinning, so I have to be very careful not to do that. Best level in the game right here. Super satisfying. All I do is just make that shape and it goes to work on the right side and completes the level for me. But you have to do a very specific sequence there. You have to create the exact shape I did, and you also have to mash the turn button, which is square. Otherwise, it, for whatever reason, won't do what it just did. I can't explain why. Okay, so we're gonna play this a little patient. Not gonna play it too patient though, but I wanna set up a pretty big combo here. Now, the floor tiles are falling in the back of this stage, so I have to be very careful. This is also the last section of Area 7. So if I die here, I gotta start back at the very beginning, but that's not gonna happen. Let's get a little combo going here. All right. Scariest part of the run out of the way.
Well done.
That's why my estimate was what it was, because it's actually very easy to fall off the back of that stage. And we are coming up into the final level. I'm actually gonna be quiet on this one because it's got quite the banger of a song. Just for the beginning here, let you appreciate it. Specific setup that I'm doing here. So I do this on purpose so that I can start leveling up one of these small shapes. Now, the level starts with that large shape, so you'd be fooled. I used to actually do this level by spinning that large shape, but then I was like, wait a minute. That's super dangerous, because look, there's all these lightning pillars on the sides. It's just so much safer to take a small shape through here. And since this is coming up on the end of the run, I just quickly wanted to give a real thanks to the Games Done Quick committee for allowing a game such as this into the marathon, because this is a super obscure game. Like, thank you for taking a risk and allowing a Japanese PS2 game such as Mawaza to have its moment to shine. It really means a lot to me because I really, and this is time by the way, means a lot to me because I try to go out of my way to find obscure speedruns like this that would never have the light of day otherwise. So to have one of the games that I like scoured the internet digging for to, you know, find something that looked like it would be a good speedrun to maybe make it on stage at GDQ one day, it's pretty cool to show it off here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for being on the couch for both of my runs, and enjoy the final hours of GDQx. Thank you.
Again, thank you, PeteDorr, for those awesome 2 games you just showed us. We'll have Techie's going to be setting up for Muscle March here soon. We'll go ahead and get through some donations while he does that. We've got $10 from the Lemon Fairy, says, loving this Mawaza run. Orb. We've got another $10 from Cheap Seats, saying, loving the Mawaza stream. A reminder, everyone, we do have an incentive for Tetris 99 Battle Royale. So if you want to see that, definitely get those donations in for it. As well as upgrading the Super Mario 64 randomizer to be 120 stars. We've got $5 from Sin Spitter X, says, always love a few lesser-known games being represented in the marathon as well. Much love to the whole team making this possible. Rocket Tracer comes in with a $15 donation. No comment, but again, thank you so much for the generous donation. For those of you just joining us or just waking up, we'd like to remind everybody that Games Done Quick Express is powered by Twitch. For those of you attending TwitchCon this weekend, feel free to come visit us in room 6D on the second floor next to Twitch Rivals. Marathon space will be open to spectators 24 hours, including overnight throughout TwitchCon weekend. Got a $5 donation from Kevlario. Again, no comment, but thanks so much for the donation anyway. And while they're setting up for Muscle March, we're going to go ahead and run a quick Twitch ad. So sit tight and we'll be right back. They are still setting up for Muscle March here, but I want to remind everybody about a current bid war going on for the Resident Evil 2 soundtrack choice. If you'd like to choose a remake OST versus the classic OST, be sure to get those donations in. Right now, the remake is winning, but the classic is not too far behind. We've got another $15 anonymous donation. No comment, but that's all right. Thanks again for the generosity. All right, we got a $50 donation from Remington. Says, Tetris 99, bitty, 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 bitty. And Moonblaze Wolf comes in with $20, says, good luck, Techie, on the Muscle March run. I hope Buff Pup brought protein shakes for the whole couch and the GDQ crew. And Billy66 comes in with another $10, says, word around the office is Muscle March is next. Show him who is boss out of the gym. We got another